Hello, my friend.
You are not my friends, you're my brothers, my friend.
When it comes to Discord alternatives, it's either another web app that will eat your RAM just like regular Discord, or it's owner-based, which means that if the server owner decides to go offline or delete the server, everything just falls apart, and all members lose the ability to talk or simply own the data. I'm not even talking about how hard it is to even launch and host these, because you need to have the tech knowledge to know what the hell Docker is, what Node.js is, and then you need to run some .bat scripts, etc, etc. For regular users, this is complete nonsense, because people want a simple installation where the app just works, instead of doing some programming stuff just to get it running and talk with your friends without any problems. But what about the other chatting apps? Well, WhatsApp and Facebook Messenger are owned by Meta. Telegram's default chats aren't encrypted, only those private chats that nobody uses. The messages are stored on their servers. Discord has the same thing, and you can be randomly banned or get hit with age verification. Signal, Matrix, and similar ones are all secure, but do they have the features and simplicity enough for widespread usage? That's why I wanted to create an actually native, secure, and easy to use app that I would want to use myself. Introducing Project Hollow. Something more than just another Discord alternative. Written in Flutter and Rust, this beast potentially beats all the messengers combined, and in this video I will show the current progress and explain every feature of it, the security and everything that makes it stand out from others. First off, why did I choose such a programming stack? Flutter is an open source framework developed by Google. It uses their own programming language called Dart, and overall the app is compiled into native code without relying on any runtimes like Electron or Node.js, which by the way are more vulnerable to bad actors and expose your system more. Hollow doesn't. Plus, Flutter allows you to create a really cool UI that uses the GPU for rendering, so the animations feel smooth on my 144Hz screen. I made sure to optimize every widget and have the shaders pre-compiled in order to achieve good performance. I had CPU usage at 20% on my virtual machine, and thank goodness I noticed this later, but after optimization it dropped to an amazing around 0.3%. Now Rust, the backend of this app with seamless communication between the UI and the heart of Hollow. Its automatic memory management and being battle tested in cryptography make it the most performant solution to handle every operation with ease. So, together with the Flutter Rust FFI breach, it gets compiled and runs tightly without exposure of your computer. Let's look at the app itself. When you launch, you get greeted with a dialog about creating your identity key. In Hollow, there are no accounts or servers to host any of your data. You don't even need your phone number or anything. Simply press the create button and you will get 24 words that represent your generated peer ID, which is basically your account. It's like crypto wallets, but if you don't want to handle the words, simply go to settings and export your entire identity into a simple .hollow file, which you can import to get all your data back like messages, friends, profiles, servers, etc. with a single button. The UI of the app is a bit unique and I wanted to make it as useful as possible. The top bar has all your friends pinned, which you can manage in this little dialog. Add, remove and see incoming or outgoing requests, all here. The bottom bar is a server strip, which holds your profile, servers, a button to create or join one, share, archive, downloads and settings. I'll talk about those three later, so let's look at the Home tab. It's pretty simple. The left column is your profile with status, the center has your latest conversations and previews of them, and the right column holds information about the health of the network, the app's open source relay server, and of course the total online count of all users. Now you might be wondering, what's a relay server? In simple terms, it's a middleman that acts as a dumb pipe to transfer all the encrypted data between peers of the app. The main problem is that without it, communication isn't possible because two peers need to have a public IP address in order to discover each other and establish a connection. The most important thing is that the relay never sees any of the actual data, so it's time to talk about the security. In direct messages, we use the OLM protocol with double ratchet, which encrypts the message on the client before sending it to the relay. Then it transports the encrypted blob to the other peer, and on their client it gets decrypted, therefore making it fully end-to-end encrypted. By the way, the relay also uses my domain, anonlisten.com, to secure the encrypted data even further with TLS, so even small metadata is stripped away, despite it being useless even if the server were compromised, but it won't be because unlike the T app, it's production ready and doesn't store anything. But alright, what about the data? Simple. You own the data. That's right, the app creates a secure SQL Cipher database for your own identity, and all the data is stored there locally, of course with full encryption. All the messages are automatically synced using CRDTs between peers through the relay to maintain proper timing and avoid ordering issues. Just simple WebSocket connections, and let me tell you, they're really cheap to maintain, so even one small server can potentially handle hundreds of thousands of active people. A little bigger one, well, let's say it can scale to millions. I still need to do some custom optimizations there, so it will work even better. The chatting experience is similar, but with its own cool quirks. One of the biggest features is the signatures. Every single message that you send in Holo is automatically signed with your identity key. Remember, this is your account. This means that nobody can even remotely mimic you without the key. This eliminates any possibility of creating fake screenshots because it is literally a signed digital proof that's easily verifiable using, for example, a tool under the Security tab in Settings. Copy the signature or get its file, then import it to the tool, press verify, and voila! You get proof that it's real, and if it's been tampered with in any way, you'll get an error. Therefore, if someone claims something, you can just ask for proof, and if they can provide it, then it's true. If not, they're liars. The rest is straightforward. You can send a file or record a voice message. You can also set a different name for a friend that only you can see, disable notifications, download an image in any converted format, or get other files, and my favorite, split view screen. You can be in two chats at the same time, whether it's another friend or a server, text both. Alright, let's talk about the WebRTC protocol, which is what I use not only for audio calls, but also for all the file operations through its data channel. Why? Because it allows the use of a really cool thing called Stun. This is the server that helps discover your public address and establish a direct connection, completely bypassing the relay. As a result, the file will flow straight to your friend with better latency and speed. The only problem is that it works about 80-90% of the time, but it's still better than nothing because in my test, it virtually works on all home networks almost 100% of the time. The last percentages are largely about corporate or mobile networks, since those are the ones that block it. But don't worry, the relay server acts as Turn, which is a fallback to Stun, so everything would flow through it without any problems. But when it comes to the audio or video calls themselves, and even screen sharing with its own audio track, all frames are encrypted in real time using S-Frame, a modern and established IETF standard, RFC 9605 in the data tracker since August 2024, so it's new, using AS128 GCM. In direct calls, a random encryption key is exchanged through the same OLM encryption as your messages. In server voice channels, the key is automatically derived from MLS and rotates every time someone joins or leaves. This means that even if someone intercepts the raw WebRTC stream, they would get nothing but encrypted noise. The file size limit is 34 megabytes, and I think that's enough for most media. If you need more, then you can use a feature called Share that is built on literally the same WebRTC infrastructure, but only with Stun and without Turn fallback, so massive file transfers wouldn't consume the relay's bandwidth, because we need it for messages and regular files together with audio calls to work for those who have restricted networks. HoloShare is basically like a torrent, but much more secure, because it never exposes your IP address to anybody, not even your internet service provider can see what you send or receive, because they see it as if you're in a voice call. It's really simple. You start seeding a file, and when someone wants to download it, you share a generated link. When they press download, you get connected directly with Stun, and the file gets split into chunks. Each one is encrypted using AS256 GCM, and when you get every one of them, the file gets reconstructed, and now you have it. Don't forget to be a seeder and help others, but you have a simple toggle to turn it off if you want. Your choice. Let's finally move on to the most interesting part, servers. On the UI side, it's similar to Slack or Discord, but with the same cool quirks. Before we proceed to the overview, guess what encryption it uses? Same OLM like in DMs? Nope, it wouldn't scale. It uses the most modern protocol possible, MLS, Messaging Layer Security. In the IETF data tracker, it's RFC 9420, published in July 2023, so it's also pretty new, and MLS adoption has been really slow. though. Most messaging apps still haven't shipped it, and the big platforms are only starting to experiment with it for RCS. But in Holo, it's the foundation of all servers. No need to worry about key handling from the owner or anything. It's automatically switched between peers with protection, ensuring that peers can easily join or leave the server without disrupting its work. Signatures for all messages are still present. But the coolest part is that all files are erasure coded. Let me explain. If a server has more than 6 members, it automatically activates erasure coding mode, which means that files get split into shards and are spread between members. You can also pledge more storage than the default 512 megabytes to help support the server. As for how it works, if there are 6 members, the file is split into 5 shards, but if 2 members go offline, you can still reconstruct the file because you need a minimum of 3. If those go offline, then unfortunately you can't do anything. But hey, at least all images are in full replication mode so you can see them instantly. Though a little question, if images are fully replicated, wouldn't that literally fill everybody's disk space? Don't worry, to combat this, all images that you send in chats are automatically converted to WebP format with a default 50% image quality, therefore achieving around 95% file size reduction. Just imagine, 95% reduction in an image that looks almost identical, and you can't notice it without zooming really close. Take a look at my banner. The original PNG size is 8.24 megabytes, but if you convert it to WebP with 50% quality, it shrinks by 98%, just 163 kilobytes. This is absolutely insane. You still have the control though. If you need to send an image to a friend at 100% quality, just change it in the settings and you're good to go. Still, I recommend only using 50% because it achieves the best balance between quality and size. The same goes for all voice recordings. The default is 32 kilobits per second .ogg format with the Opus codec, ensuring full quality and small size. The customization inside Holo is also pretty good. You can set a different color, background image, select your devices, or even set a custom ringtone for incoming calls. Select the music file, trim the 30-second part you want, and you're all good. On profiles, you can put whatever name you want, an avatar or a banner which supports GIFs, but don't be mistaken, they're also converted to WebP. It supports animation, so if we apply the same 50% quality, we get almost the same quality, but with a smaller file size. Not that impressive, but almost 75% reduction is still better than nothing, right? But okay, let's look at the final working feature, the archive. Basically, it's just a visual representation of your local database, where you can see all conversations that you had on this identity, even if someone that you're not friends with anymore. Yeah, for now you can only talk in DMs when you're friends, if not, nobody can DM you. The UI is simple too. Select a peer you'd like, and then you can see the entire data that you currently possess. All the messages, all the signatures, everything is there. The same goes for servers. You can see each channel and all the sweet data, which you can easily export with a single button. Select the file mode and you're done. Head to the Imported Archives tab, import one, and you'll get it all there from a single .holo archive file. Works everywhere, so we can share it with people and make damn sure that the information is all correct. Last big feature of the archive. In the My Data tab, you can see the vault files, which shows all the files across different erasure-coded servers, with stats on what you hold and what's needed for reconstruction to obtain those files. You can import or export the shards to get individual data, or you can start a recovery pool. Imagine a scenario where a malicious owner of a server was sending lots of bad stuff inside, like files that aren't images or text messages, maybe malware or videos, and then completely shut it down. If someone were an ex-member of such a server, you can help each other get those files and have all the proof about it. Start an operation, contact everybody, share the link and combine all the shards so that all of you can get the data. Simple and efficient. But still, most of everything should be covered by messages and images, so it's optional. This covers a lot of the stuff that already works, but the app is still in the early alpha version. I tried to fix all the bugs, but it needs proper testing with full feedback before a proper release. As for the future, I plan to improve it and add more useful features such as secure Twitch API integration for your own community server to, for example, allow only followers who have followed you for 1 week to join the server to prevent bots. Something like this, but so much more later on too. I would really love to hear all your suggestions to improve the project. But I have a big announcement to make. Since it's an alpha version, it already has a little license system, so if you're actually interested in reviewing and testing the app, then you can get access for free by sending an email to collab@nlisten.com. Again, I still have a lot to do to get it going, but your support will definitely boost it. You can join my Patreon or Ko-fi if you wish, but comments are what I need the most. Thank you so much for watching this video, and make sure to like, subscribe and share it. So let's strive for better software together. Holy moly, the amount of top optimizations and debugging I did to make it work well and not like slop still amazes me. Well, better continue this way.